Dragons. So I am here to do a different type of video for you all. I have seen everyone do basically like a self-destruct list. I have a very hard time with doing a self-destruct list. So this is going to be kind of my version of a self-destruct list. What basically means is I run out of shelf space really easy in my room. Like I just go to a lot of book conventions, I buy a lot of books. I'm definitely more of a fantasy physical reader. That's kind of what I realized in the last year, that I really don't read, romances or audio, like mysteries and thrillers physically very rarely. So I have a lot of physical books in the back that because I was reading other things. And I think that because I have a lot of these fantasy books in the back of me, I've had these for a long time. Some of them I had for, so many years I don't even know. So here's what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do with this list is every single time I bring in a new fantasy book, I either have to immediately read the fantasy book, or I need to put it on my bookshelf, and whatever book I take off, I have to read immediately or unhaul, because some of these books have been here for for years and years and years. So I'm going to kind of show you, it's a lot, I know that. And I don't even really want to make a graphic for my bullet journal because I know it's going to be like a very long one. Maybe I will make a graphic, we'll see, just to see what was in the graphic, but I'm going to show you all of them. And I'm just curious at the end of the year, how many of these are still on my bookshelf? How many of these did I read? How many of these did I unhaul? Because I have the potential to really like these, and these are the books that are in my line of sight. These are the books that I'm most interested in. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first book on here I've had a while, but that is Bonesmith by Nikki Paul Prado, and I've been saving this for when I do my Last of Us vlog, because everyone says if you like this book, you'll like, if you like Jessie, you'll like this book, which I do like Jessie, so yeah. But this is one that is a special edition. I also have the second book, I would have to find it, but yeah, this is one that has ghost magic. It's Beginning of the Nights, Games of Thrones, and White Walkers in this dark young adult fantasy with a disregarded ghost fighting warrior who must journey into a haunted wasteland to rescue a kidnapped prince. So I'm here for this one. So this one is one that I'm super excited for. And then the other one that I just got is The 7th of Locke by V.L. Bovalina, and I actually treated myself to this one because I found it on Tango and it was like $40, but I have $400 worth in credit. So I decided to add these two to that graphic. So yeah, these are two that I would like to read, and I do have some projects in the works for these. And also, all of these books could be on people's best books of the year list, and that's kind of what I'm wanting to do for January. So yeah, plans are afoot. So those are two books that I really am excited for. And now let's get into the rest of that shelf. So the next little stack is one that I think it's going to be a very short one. It's called House of Hearts by Skyla Arnett. This is when she knows her best friend is murdered and she kind of goes to the school to figure out what is happening, but it's very short. I think I got this hoping I was going to read it over Halloween weekend, and then I never did. But I do like this cover. So this one's a new one that I didn't get around to. And then I will definitely read this year because I have a blog project in mind for So Let Them Burn by Camilla Cole. I also do have another idea because this is her first book. She's coming out with a new one, and this is Kate Jacobs' favorite book of all time, and she wrote a book. So I may do a reading vlog where I kind of read a bunch of things and include this in it, but this is one that I would like to read, and it does have dragons, which I love dragons, and also has a sister bond and such. So, but yeah, there's been a lot of hype about this book as well. And then I also have one that I haven't heard. These next two really no one has talked about, but they are old arcs from ALA. Inheritance of Scars by Crystal Seitz is Never Go Beyond the Stave Church, and I think that this has a God story, I think. Oh, and the main character has Crohn's disease. But I do love this cover. I've kept this. This has been on a lot of my unhaul lists, and I just want to give it a shot, and I want to see if I'm gonna like it because no one has talked about it. And those are only YA books that I tend to really like. We also have a Magic Fierce and Bright by Hamikta Naikat. This is another one where it's she's a techno path. Yeah, I think she's a technopath, which just kind of reminds me of Keeper of the Lost Cities when we have decks. So I want to read this one as well. And then one I got for Christmas last year, I just literally cleaned off my entire cart, is The Half King by Melissa Landers. And I don't know if people like this one, but there is a seer, so I'm excited. I have liked her YA stuff in the past, so yeah. And then another one that I got last year, or 1 year at, I don't know when I got this. Yeah, I think this was like 2 years ago, was Fortune's Kiss by Amber Clement, and this is, I think this is like a circus one maybe, but I didn't get a chance to read it quite yet. So yeah, those are the books that like are screaming my name so far. But they're all YA fantasy books. A lot of these are, some of them are adult, but they're just books that like I feel like in the last couple of years I haven't been gravitating towards reading fantasy, and I just want to make a concerted effort. So those are the new ones for this as part of the video. So a couple of these I have purposely avoided watching reviews for because I tend to get afraid if people don't like books. So I really want to read Realm of Thieves by Karina Halley. I've had this book for so long and I just haven't got around to it. But it seems like I will like it. It says Rival Thieves, Hungry Dragons, Scorched Hearts. So this one sounds really, really fun and I really would like to get around to it. And then we have The Incandescence by Emily Tesh, which I have no idea what this book's about. The Sapphic Dark Academia Romance. It's very, very pretty. It's from my Owl Crate edition, which I've struggled sometimes with some of their covers, but especially in their adult fantasy boxes, but I do like this one. And then one of my Forbidden Wings is Spellfire by Agatha Willow, which I really do want to read. I did start this and then I put it back down, so that is why it's on this little stack. And then we have the Dark Becomes Her by Judy I. Lin. And I have DNF'd her other series that I was in the middle of reading, but this is a like mythology story, and I really do want to support the Rick Riordan Presents brand. And then I have The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, which I have a feeling might be on people's best or worst books of the year, which makes me think I may be able to include it in a video. So yeah, that is that mini stack, and then we're gonna keep going. Okay, so the book's finishing off that shelf is actually a reread. It's Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. I really do want to get back to this series. I was obsessed with this series, and then I think Susan had a lot of health issues, and I think after she wrote Blood Witch, it was a really, really long break before we got book 3 or 4, I think, and I was like, I need to reread this book. So I got this from the library. I actually have a copy somewhere in my room, but I don't know where I put it. So this is a library copy. I love this book when I read it, like, so much. It was a 5-star series for me, but I really do need to reread it. So that's why this one is on here, because I do need to reread it. And then we also have A Fate So Cold by Amanda Foody and C.L. Herman. This is like a perfect wintry book. I still might pick it up before the end of the year, but I did want to add it here because it is signed by both the authors, and it seems like a perfect winter read. So, and then another one that I found on my cart is Night of the Witch by Sarah Rosh and Beth Revis, and I have no idea what this book's about. But I do want to read their Crimson Throne book, so I did want to read and see if I like this, but this is another one that I was super happy about. So that is the stack on shelf 1, and now let's get to shelf 2. Books that, like, I'm a little bit embarrassed by that I still haven't read them. So one is Twin Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Weber. I really do want to read this series because I think it'll be right up my alley. But it's been so, like, I'm so far behind on this series and I really do want to read it. Also, these are like the most embarrassing. I still haven't read The Girl of Fire and Thorns by Ray Carson, and I'm so sad about it. So I want to read this one. I also want to see if I'm going to like this. Ink, Iron, and Glass by Gwendolyn Clare is a book that, like, I don't know if I would like it, but it gave me, when I was reading Rachel Kane before she passed away, I really did like that series. And this one just screams similar vibes, and it's been so long since I read that book, but that author has sadly passed away and I won't get the end of that series, so maybe this one will work. Hopefully. And then the two that I'm like, Laura, this is the year. The Kiss of Deception by Margaret E. Pearson, I really do need to read. And I've had this for so long. It's been on a Kindle book for so long, and I just need to get around to it, so I need someone to motivate me. I need, ooh, you know what? This could work for bingo. This could work for Cassidy's bingo. Because it does have 2 love interests. It's not like a love, it's, you know, it won't fit hard mode, but it will fit easy mode. That's good. And then Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. yeah, I really want to read this. I think this book has worked for me so much. I'm just a little bit worried about the writing style and how purple prosy she tends to write, but I really do want to read it. So those are really the goals in this, like this stack. If I can read like any of these 5, I'll be really, really happy. But the rest are just gravy. The rest are just books that I just have collected and haven't got around to. So let's get into those. These are more just random books that I still have on my TBR that I want to give a gold college try. And if I'm okay with DNFing, I'm okay DNFing. But one is It Waits in the Forest by Sarah Doss, which is like a supernatural thriller. You could see I started some of these books. I still have bookmarks in them. So I want to give this one a shot just because I really do like the Rick Riordan Presents series. Cinderella is Dead by Caitlin Barron is a book that I have wanted to read for so long. I got this in 2020, which is pre-pandemic. I got this so long ago, so I still want to give this one a shot. And then I have A Pinch of Magic, which has been on my TBR cart, which I just redid. So I have another, I want to try to get to this one and see if I do like it. But yeah. And then I have The Never Tilting World by Rin Chupreco. I think this is a sci-fi story. I don't read a lot of sci-fi, but I do have authors that are tried and true. And I'm going to be reading a little bit of sci-fi in early 2026 because Amy Kaufman's coming out with a new book. And then I have one of my older Spiffbo books that I got because I think it was Cassidy and Brie was talking about it. So I have City of Mages that I just want to see if I'm going to like. And then because Catherine Quinn is coming out with a new book, I found my copy of To Kill a Shadow by Catherine Quinn. And this one is my Pretty Owl crate that I still have not unboxed, but I would like to read it. And then I really kept Rosie Frost because it reminds me of Sadie Sink. And this is just a middle grade book that is written by the Spice Girl, which we know it's really not. But like, you know, it looks fun and it just reminds me of Sadie Sink, so I wanted to keep it and read it. And then I also have my old Owl crate of Only a Monster, which I would like to get around to. So yeah, those are the books that like I sort of forgot that I have, but I'm still very interested in. And now let's get into the rest of the shelf. The final 3 books on here is The Druid's Call by E.K. Johnson. This is a Dungeons and Dragons novel, and I really do want to read them because I think that this is my perfect type of book. I just haven't been called to it, and I honestly forgot I had this one. And then The Monstrous Kind by Lydia Grigorovic is a book that I got a couple of years ago that is like a fantasy suspense book, like a fantasy mystery, which I really do want to read. And my last one is one that I got from Barnes & Noble Fest, which is Skip Shock by Caroline Dougal, which is it's like a fantasy romance, but it has to do with like time travel, I think. So yeah, those are the books that like basically what I want to do is I want to go through these, and I really want to. Problem is I go to a lot of book conventions and I often get book ones. I love book ones and then I don't read sequels, but these are books that like some of these I got obviously from a convention, others I just didn't, and I just want to like make a bit of a focus on them. So yeah, let me know in the comments, what is some of the books from this video you want me to see me read first? I don't ever get comments, but if you feel so inclined, put some comments below and maybe I'll do a video where I kind of let you choose. I think that would be sort of fun just because I haven't read these and I don't really want, I want to kind of go in blind. Some of these I know are super popular, some of these aren't popular, but yeah, let me know in the comments, what is a book from this stack that you want to see me read and review, and I'll talk to you guys soon.